I cannot tell you how much I adore amaryllis plants. The flowers are so showy and flouncy and luxuriant, and of course they grow to about 60 or 70 centimeters from the pot, nearly growing in front of your eyes. And ever since I was a small child, I associate them with Christmas and January at home. I'd start them off in a pot. I'll show you now how to do it. It really is very, very easy. And then after a few weeks, up they come, and they're literally nearly growing in front of your eyes, and they open up then into these massive trumpet-shaped flowers. Absolutely spectacular. I couldn't have Christmas or January at home without one. I really, really adore them, and they're so easy. So first of all, what you do, you'll get these kind of kits, and within the kit then you'll have everything you need. You'll have a little bit of compost, you'll have the bulb obviously, and you'll have whatever colour pot that they're going to come in. I think this is a lovely gold one with the red lion. Amaryllis. You've also got Picotee, which is, I was going to say another favourite of mine, but I think they're all favourites of mine. But that's a lovely kind of apple blossom white with the red edge to the leaf. And then the double record. Look at it, it's kind of double ruffled petals. Really, really gorgeous one. But they're all gorgeous. Whichever one you choose, you can't go wrong with amaryllis, and that's the thing. Now, a couple of things to bear in mind. First of all, you have your pot. With these pots, there won't be a drainage hole. So just keep an eye on watering, but that's fine because we're going to be keeping them indoors and we're not going to be watering them too much. Now, second thing, get your compost. If you have an amaryllis bulb at home and you're growing it from last year, any good multi-purpose compost will do you. If not, if it's your first time and if you're getting a new one, the kit that you get will come with the compost, okay? So you don't want to fill it right to the top. You want to, I don't know, maybe 3/4, 2/3 fill it. Okay, so there you go. So you can see, if you can see inside it there, you've got about 1/3 of the pot left still exposed. Now you get your bulb, you get a good sized, decent bulb. You don't need to worry too much about getting the roots into the soil. They'll do their own thing when the new ones emerge. You just want to make sure you have the right way up, roots pointing down and the shoot, or what will be the shoot, facing up. Position it there, I'm gently teasing the roots into the compost, okay? Get rid of any of last year's growth. And then I could probably go a bit higher with the soil first. Want to slightly, that's it now. So the bulb is standing slightly proud of the pot. And now I am just going to build up around the side with the compost. I'm only covering about 1/2 to 3/4 of the bulb. Okay, so now firm it down. So I don't know if you can see it there in the camera, but there's about 1/4 or 1/3 of the bulb left exposed, and 3/4 or 2/3 roughly of the bulb under the soil. Now, these are an indoor plant, they're a house plant, so they're going to need to be kept warm to trigger the growth, okay? So normal room temperature, in around I don't know what normal room temperature is, but if they're around anywhere between 15 and 20 degrees, they're going to start coming into growth. You can leave them somewhere dark to start with for the first few weeks, and to give you an idea, from today to flowering time is going to be 6 to 8 weeks, okay? So just bear that in mind whenever you're starting them off and when you want them to flower. But that's great because you can be guaranteed flowers then in 6 to 8 weeks time, and why not try another one in a few weeks time, so you have that continuity then on the other end. So you can store this somewhere dark. It doesn't have to be dark. You don't want full sunlight yet, really, for the first few weeks. When the shoots are up a bit, then move it to somewhere nice and bright and sunny, getting a good amount of sunlight. Now, a trick, particularly if it's near a window, as it's growing, remember I said it'll kind of grow in front of your eyes, as it's growing up, okay, as that shoot is growing up, it'll start, it's phototropism, if you remember your school days science, the shoot will start growing towards the light. So if your window's over here, it's going to start growing that way. So every day, just turn it and it starts correcting that. It'll keep it going straight up. You might want to put a small bamboo or even a relatively large bamboo to keep it upright if you want to keep it staked, to keep it straight. But just twist the pot a small bit every day, that'll keep it straight. And then after about 8 weeks, once it's in a sunny position, it's going to flower away, and by God, they're magic. If you've never grown them, make this the year to try. They are so easy. When the flowering is finished then, and they flower for a good few weeks, but when the flowering is finished, leave all the foliage and the flower stem die off, okay? Treat it as you would a daffodil. They're actually related, believe it or not, to daffodils and snowdrops. They're not, this is going off on a bit of a tangent now, but they're not true amaryllis. The belladonna lily, which you may know, is Amaryllis belladonna. These are actually hippeastrums, but look, that's going too far. They're known by everyone as amaryllis, an indoor plant. So when all the foliage and the stem has died off, let it go brown, let all the nutrients go back into that bulb for next year. At that point, cut it all so it's back like this. You can take the bulb out of the pot, wrap it in newspaper, let it dry out, and then store it in a net or a paper bag or something like that until this time next year when you can start again. I don't, that's all far too much work for me. I actually leave it in the pot, leave the pot and all in the shed, let it go dry, and come this time next year, I'll bring it back in and I'll start watering it, and the magic will start all over again. Last job to do with this before I put it away, I want the soil to be damp, I don't want it to be over wet. Remember what I said, there's no drainage hole down there. So I just want to moisten the soil into a nice, I don't know where I'm going to put this guy actually. You can even put it into the hot press if you wanted to start it. It doesn't need the sunlight, as I say, it just needs a bit of heat. And then in a few weeks, I'll move it into somewhere bright and sunny. Keep an eye on my stories on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll show you the progress of this and any other things that I'm growing for Christmas. You can, of course, buy these amaryllis along with a huge range of gardening gifts on theirishgardener.com.